Hey everybody, Dave here. Today I am going to be showing you how to build a game in Scratch. I know it's not like the normal kind of video that I would make, but I'm doing this because I'm interested in it and not because I think anybody necessarily wants to see it. So my son is trying to learn programming. He's 13, so we're starting him in Scratch before we go on to Python or whatever else. And I figured I'd go ahead and try to build the same project. And he had been working on Asteroids, and I've also been working on that in Python. And that's because of the boot.dev course that comes up. I've been going back through the boot.dev courses, and that's the one that I got to yesterday. So I finished that up, and then today I thought, well, maybe I'll just build it in Scratch as well. And I figured I might as well record myself while I do that. So it's possible nobody's going to care about this at all, but it is here in case you do care. But if you have kids and you want them to learn programming, I think Scratch is a great way to start. And you can build stuff like this in just an afternoon. So it's a lot easier, I think, than really any other, platform or programming language or whatever. And it gets them some of the basic concepts they need before they go into something harder. So I will be cutting out the boring parts where I'm not doing anything, but otherwise, like my videos I normally do, I will be showing everything on screen that I work on, including my mistakes and anything I need to undo and stuff. So just be aware in advance that if you came to this expecting like a tutorial, that's not what this is. You might be able to learn stuff from it. You might be able to follow it like you would a tutorial, but just be aware that I didn't design it like that on purpose, and I didn't figure out everything out in advance. So this is really just for me to learn this, and I figured I'd record it along the way. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So I'm going to create a new project, and we're going to call this Asteroids. And then I want to actually try using a special sprite. This is where the issue that I came into before. So I'm going to look up ship. So there's a rocket ship here, and I want to try using this. I don't know if it will work out, but I just want to go for it. So let me jump straight to showing you the issue that I had. In the costume of the sprite, I'm just going to use this first one for now. Maybe later I'll change it to actually like switch between them or something. But the first thing is that when I end up getting to the point where we fire the projectiles out of it, it's going to shoot off to the right here. And that's because sprites actually point to the right. So I'm not sure why they created this one pointing upward. That's a little strange to me, but maybe there's somebody who knows more about Scratch would understand why. But I'm going to come back in a minute and I'm going to edit this so that it's pointing to the right, and then it should go in the correct direction. And then the other thing is I'm going to need to edit it to actually move it like slightly up and to the left, I think, so that the center is actually handled right. So that when we spawn in a projectile, that it comes from the center of the rocket ship. So we'll get there. So I'm going to rename this sprite to just be player. This is in place of doing a triangle like you normally see in Asteroids. Okay, so we have a sprite called player, and I'm going to do, I think, the main stuff in here. I don't even know if you can do code outside of a sprite, so maybe there's another way to do that, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to start this with an event when the green flag is clicked. And before I do this, let me just say, like, there's probably better ways to do this, and maybe I'll happen to hit on how other people do it, but I have tried not to look up anything about how other people handle it, only like the minimal that I needed to understand how to fix the sprite that I needed to earlier. None of the stuff I looked up helped me at all with that, unfortunately, but yeah, so like you might see this and be like, that's not the best way to do it. It's because I just don't know what it is. So when the green flag is clicked, we need to start checking for some things. I guess I could go ahead and show you the other thing that I tried earlier. What I was going to do is this, like when, let's say the W key is pressed, then move some number of steps, like 10 or something. And if I hit the green flag's not going to do it. Okay, we don't need the green flag to be clicked for this. So first of all, you see it's going the wrong direction. Also, our spaceship is way too large, so I can't move backwards. So let's do size 10. That's too small. Let's try 15. 20. That might be too big for now, but we'll do that. Okay, and then we also don't want to go to the side, so I'm going to go into the costume and select this. Oh, it's not a group. That's interesting. Let's just group all of that. Actually, maybe it's not supposed to be grouped. Let's just undo that. I don't want to mess it up. Let's just select everything and rotate it. I don't know how to tell if that's perfectly lined up or not. I guess I could look here, see if it's on the same Y level. If I don't see any numbers though. Okay, well, we'll go with that. And then now I can't turn, but at least you can see I'm going in the right direction. But this is where I was going to show that, oh my goodness, how do I? Okay, cool, I can move it back here. So when I press W, I can go forward, but if I hold W, it doesn't do anything until after like a second, it starts like shooting it forward. And that's not really what I'm going for. So I changed to not do this and instead have an if statement like if we got to sense what key is being pressed. If the W key, where are we? W key is pressed, then move 10 steps. And I'm missing a forever loop. Okay. So now I should be able to, can I do like when any key is pressed? I wonder if I can make this separate. Control, sensing, no, events. When any key? I wonder if that works. Oh, I think I like that. Kind of like that, the idea of this being like running. Can I take the forever out of this? When any key is pressed. No. Okay, well, I wanted to try that out, but I don't know how to do a while loop, so I may have to come back to that, but this will work well enough, I think. So when this is pressed is the only time this will work, and I need to give myself the ability to turn, but this looks like it'll work. And so now I just need to add in extra keys. So we need to just copy this. Can I stop? Duplicate. If the, so we got W key, we need the A key. Duplicate. S key. No. D key. And then W make us move forward, but then A and D will make us turn. A makes us turn left, and D makes us turn right. Okay, so now we can fly around the screen. That was pretty easy to do. So now we need to be able to shoot. Now, I guess it's not good that it just keeps going forever. Maybe that's fine, because it can stop when I hit the stop button. I guess that's fine. Okay. All right, we need a projectile. Let's create one. Create a circle. I need to zoom in, don't I? Okay, let's try to make this like a good circle. Okay, that's going to be probably too big, so we can just decrease the size. And that's probably still too big. Okay, and we'll just keep it as a purple projectile like that. That's fine. Now we need to make this thing shoot out of the spaceship. Oh, I guess we need to give it a name. Let's give this shot. Now in the shot, I guess it's debatable where this functionality should be, but I'm going to put it inside the shot, have shot control itself. When space key is pressed, because this is going to be like, you got to press it over and over. You don't hold the button down, I think. We'll see. Then what we need to do is spawn in a new shot, create a clone of myself. So we're inside the shot's code. So myself is the shot. Oh, that's interesting though. So yeah, I guess I could have put this in the player's code, but I'm going to do it here. So press space, create a clone of myself, and then a separate event. That's interesting. This isn't considered an event. It's in the control group. When I start as a clone, I want to move to the player position. So go to player. Now we do need to know the direction of the player. And I was thinking about this. This is, maybe there's a better way to do this. The only thing, two things I can think of is we either broadcast a message or we set a global variable. And I'm going to go with setting a global variable because we basically need to know what direction to point this projectile. It's a circle, but it's got to know which direction to go. So we need to point it in a direction. I guess we also do need to make it show at some point. And we can make it also, this is something 100%, I'm stealing this next thing from having seen somebody. I accidentally watched somebody working on something. I was just trying to get my other question answered, and I saw that they used go to back layer. And I'm going to do that here so that it doesn't go on top of the spaceship. Go to player, point in direction. We're going to need to put the variable for the direction of the player here, and then show it, and then make it start going forward. So I need a variable player direction. And I'm going to put that here. So really I could just call it direction because it's the direction of everything, but we'll see. Well, it's the player and the shot direction. I need to go over to player, and I need to set that variable. Do I need to set it inside one of these? I think after all of these are done. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. I could probably do it before or after. So I need to set the player direction to, and I saw this earlier, there is one of these groups has like a variable that's just built in that holds the direction and the X and Y position. Is it the variables group? No. Why? I don't understand. How has this been around this long and there's still not like a search capability to search for block types? I don't understand why that's a thing. It is honestly super frustrating to try to find them in this list. Maybe if I just know it really well, I'd know where to go, but like, I don't know. Direction. Okay, so this, since we're in the code for player, this is the direction for the player. So set player direction, which is the variable that we set to be global. Set it to the current direction of the player, and then the shot, when it starts as a clone, it will go to the player location, point in the direction the player is facing, and then we need to have it like move. So it needs to move some number of steps. We'll leave 10, but we need it to keep going. So we'll do like I guess a forever, or let's see, maybe repeat until. And for now, I can do like until it's touching the edge. Here we go. Till touching edge. And then after that, we can delete it. Delete this clone. Now, I had it a different way earlier. I was going to do like maybe forever, and then in here have an if statement that checks like if touching edge, then delete this clone. But then again, when I was looking up a totally unrelated issue, I saw somebody else do it this way, where I don't know if they used repeat until, but it was something like that. And they checked for touching edge or, touching an asteroid. And then they deleted the clone after that. So I'm switching to that because I think it's better. But I'm trying to point out each thing that I accidentally stole from someone. Okay, so let's see how far off we are on this. Okay, so this created a clone that worked correctly. What I didn't do is set the shot itself to be invisible. So let me go over to right here. So when I need an event when this is clicked, I want the shot to be invisible. How do I do that? Looks, hide. There we go. Okay, so we've got shots going, and they theoretically are getting deleted when they get to the edge of the screen, though I can't actually I can't actually verify that. Maybe there's some way to check that, but it's not as long as the thing doesn't crash, I suppose I don't care at the moment. All right, so the next thing we can do is, do we want to spawn in some asteroids, or I guess that makes sense because I can't really test anything else. Oh, no, I know what we could do. Okay, yeah, we can shoot too much here, and it's kind of weird. We need to put a little bit, some kind of limitation on that. And just like I did in the Python version of this, when I was building asteroids, it was a timer that would kind of have to run out before you can shoot again. So I think I'll just have is there a timer? Wasn't there? I saw a timer in here somewhere. Ooh, that's tough. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Let's just try setting. When I hit the space key, creates a clone, and then we set the... Oh, I need to create a new variable. This is where I was going to use timer. Wait, set my variable. But so I can't choose timer here. So maybe that there's something else I'm supposed to do to set that timer. I'm not really sure what that is. But I guess I'll just create a new variable for now. If somebody, by some miracle, is watching this, let me know if there's like a different way, how I can interact with that timer, or like what its purpose is. Okay, well anyway, let's make a variable, and we'll call this shot timer. For this sprite only, set shot timer to... Now, I'm not sure, is this going to be seconds? I think it shouldn't be seconds. Let's go with like 0.3. And then if shot timer is equal to 0, maybe? So shot timer is less than 1 is not what I want. Is there a less than or equal to? So this or this. Just in case I do my math wrong. Shot timer less than 0 or equal to 0. Then we can create a clone, and then we set the shot timer back up to 0.3. But we need some way to decrease that timer. Okay, so I'm staring at this for a couple of minutes, trying to figure. I'm still not exactly sure how I'm supposed to handle like time in this game. I don't know if there's a way to sort of do operations based on the clock, but I should be able to do like the weight, because I think there's a weight in here somewhere. But I think that if I did, well, let me just find the weight here. Yeah, so if I used this weight, I don't think that would work the way that I want it to. So what I'm going to try is to actually just remove using a shot timer. I might even delete the variable. Let's delete this variable for now. I might come back. Wait, 2 uses of shot timer. That's fine. And what I'll do instead is just try something real simple. So let's try to wait for like 0.3 seconds when the space key is pressed and we've cloned the shot. But what I'm thinking is that this isn't going to work properly if it's inside of the shot instance, because this, like, we create a clone of ourselves, and now this clone has this over here. So when the space key is pressed, it's going to keep creating another clone, and it's going to ignore this wait because each clone can create another clone. So it effectively makes what I'm trying to do here pointless. So instead, I think I have to move this over to player or put it somewhere else. I guess it could really be in any other place, but since there's only going to be a single player, I should just be able to move this over. So I'm going to do when space key pressed, create clone of, but the clone of a shot. So when space key is pressed, clone, create a clone of shot, and then wait, which was in the control group. Yep. Wait 0.3 seconds. Let's go back over to shot and get rid of this. Okay, let's try it now. Oh, I think my shot's not moving fast enough. So I am able to fire this pretty fast. Let me just make sure that it's working. So if I do a single second. Yeah, okay, so that's working as intended. All right, I was making it too complicated. In Python, I had to do more of like a timer and sort of count down the timer. But here I don't need to do that, it looks like. Okay, so let's just change it to so I can figure out what makes sense. That's probably a little too fast. No. It's also my ship flies too fast, so let's make that fly a little slower. I think the ship might be too big. Let's change it to 15. Because really, when I play this, it's going to be full screen like this. Yeah, that size seems fine. Okay. I think the speed of the projectile is okay. Also, I just noticed something that I don't think I had to fix. I'm kind of irritated by. Is that before the projectile was coming out of the side of the sprite? And so I'll just point out what I did to fix that. I don't know why it's not happening now, but in the sprite costume, I had to take the whole sprite. Oh, that's not at all what I was trying to do. I had to take the whole sprite and just like move it up and to the left a little bit so that it was like off center. And then when I moved the shot to go to the player, instead of it moving to be like, it would move to be down here somewhere. Instead, it's going up here, which is what I want. So I don't know how to explain why it's working this time and it wasn't last time, but but the answer is to go into the costume and just move this whole thing around a little bit until you identify the actual center. I'm thinking next, what I kind of want to try to do is use this other costume to make it not shoot out anything when you're not moving forward. And let's see, how hard would that be? Okay, I know I need to go into this and I need to rotate it. If I click back and forth, do I basically just need to make it line up over it? That's like pretty close. This one's a little too high. Oh, it's like they're pointed different directions too. That'd be a little weird, but let's just see if that works as well. So in the code here, I should be able to make it like flip back and forth. I guess it would be while the W key is pressed. All right, this is super weird. This dragging around. I do not like it. Probably just don't know what I'm doing. If the W key is pressed, then we move. If it's not being pressed, then we're not moving. And I'm thinking that we can switch costume. You know, maybe I don't need to do it in here. I just do that unnecessarily. Okay, and go back to this. So I want to implement this costume change. So I just need to have like an event, I think, that checks when the W key is pressed. Although, do I have a way to see when the W key is lifted? All right, so I'm not seeing a way to like check what costume is currently being used. And what I want to do is I can use like, you know, when W key is pressed, I can switch the costume to well, I don't even know the names of these actually. Is it costume A and E? Yeah, so like when it's pressed, we want costume A, and then when it's not being pressed anymore, then we want costume E, right? For now. But I don't understand. I don't see like a when, you know, W is not pressed, right? There's not like an event for when it's not being pressed. There could be one for when you let off of the W key. But what I'm thinking instead I'll do is just have a little variable, because variables solve all problems. I'll do like current costume for this sprite only. And then I can just set it to like A, B, C, D, and E. So when we switch the costume to A, then we can set current costume to A. I could probably just do it in this main loop. Maybe I'm putting too much in it here, but we can just keep going. I think it's fine. So duplicate an if statement. I'll put it below the player direction to kind of set it off as being separate. And I don't want to do a movement. It's when, I don't know, when any, no, I would, yeah, if W pressed, but I actually want it to be like if it's not pressed. So I need like operators. So if the W key, oh, actually, I don't know. Does this turn out to false? Like, can I do this? Let's see if that works. If W key is not being pressed when we get to this point, oh, I needed actually two of them. So if W keys pressed, don't actually need this, and the current costume, here. And if the current costume is equal to, maybe not equal to, I can come back to that. If the current costume is equal to see, I want it to be like if the key W is not pressed. Is there a not? Not. Okay, so if the W key is not being pressed and the current costume is set to A, then I want to change it to E. Current costume. Oh, but I don't want to change the value. I just want to like actually flip it. So I need to copy this. So switch costume to E and then set that this will be E. So my goal with this is that I didn't want to actually constantly switch the costume if it's already correct. And I'm thinking that it should be faster, less, I don't know, less intensive for the program to be checking whether the key is pressed and what the current value is in a variable rather than constantly set the costume to the thing it already is. Let's see if this works. Probably won't. Oh, hey, it works. Look at that. Well, let's make this maximized so it's easier to see. Look at that. Oh, okay. That was totally worth it. I think I might make the like sprite a little bigger just so that we can see it while I'm playing around with this. Yeah, look at that. Okay. The next thing is, let's see, we've got the shot. Uh-oh, what did I do? Uh-oh, we broke something. No, wait, I thought I broke something. So this is shooting too slow. I think I do like 0.3 seconds maybe. I think I turned too fast actually. That's a little better. Okay. So now we need asteroids. I don't know the logic for how I'm going to do this, so this might be a bit of a struggle. I'm going to call this one asteroid. First, let's just see. I should have done this. Asteroid. There's no asteroid, but there could be like a comet or a rock. uh, actually, let's try to work with this. I'm thinking I delete. Oh, I can actually use either of these. Thinking I copy this, duplicate it. Oops. Spin it upside down. And I might need to like, 20. Okay. I think we're going to go with this bigger one. That's actually not that bad. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, let's use this. I mean, asteroids are big rocks, right? Asteroid. Maybe they're ice. No, they're rock, right? Metal? Okay. I don't know. So let's see here. I just need to make one of them appear and start moving, and then we can kind of think through what we want after that. So in events, I'm thinking what we do is we don't actually make the asteroid. No, let's just make the asteroid start when we click start. I was going to say we could have the player move. Speaking of which, the player is not getting moved to the center. We need to make him move to the center when that's clicked. Movement. Go to. Go to. I think 0, 0. Does that make, yeah, player goes there. They would be instantly dead. That's unfortunate. We need the asteroid to be smaller than this for sure. We'll start, that's not too bad. We'll start with the asteroid being not here. It has to be on the edge of the screen, I think. So let's just pick a place for now. I don't know what the edge of the screen is. So 400, 400. Okay, that's actually pretty close. Actually, that's not bad. Let's just do that. 400, 400. That starts it up in the top right corner. I don't know if you can see that, but it's obviously right here. And then we make it move toward the player. I'm thinking just to start it off with. We'll probably fix it later. So point towards, point in direction, point towards player, and move 10 steps. We need it to move forever. Okay. That's funny. We need the bounce thing. Where's bounce? Sensing. Here we go. If on edge bounce. Okay. There we go. Of course, we'll need to randomize this a little bit, but for now we've got an asteroid moving. Let's do a little bit of randomize actually. So we want to go point in direction, and I think we just need its current direction. Is this in asteroid? Okay. Oh, you know what though? It occurs to me now that this logic really should be in the clones, but I think we can get this one right first, and then implement the clone logic like we did with this. I'm trying to figure out how we can have it kind of randomize where it goes. I also currently have the problem where if I press the green flag, then it's just going to bounce off of this, and it's because I guess when I press this, oh wait, you know what? It's supposed to go to 400 by 400 or 400, 400 when I press this. So I'm actually confused why it's not doing that, because it did it before. Let's just do 200, 200. That's really strange, actually. Wait a minute. 200, 200 shouldn't be off the screen, though. Huh. Maybe I just misunderstood how large the area is? Huh. Okay, let's try this again. What? Point towards player. Go to 100, 100. Point towards player. Forever. If on edge, bounce. Move 10 steps. Point in direction. Oh. Oh, it wasn't the, okay, so that was actually the issue. It wasn't the location of this probably. Okay, it's occurring to me now too that I don't actually want it to change the direction it's pointing. Oh, that must just be built into the if on edge bounce. It must change the direction that it's pointing. So I might need to implement some custom bounce logic. All right, so I need to implement, oh, here's the pick random. Good grief, I've been looking for that. Pick random 1 through 10. See if I could just search for it, like how it would just filter the list of options, then I wouldn't have to like memorize where all these things are. It seems a little unnecessary. So pick random between, so I need to point in direction. This is not quite what I want, but I'm going to leave it for now. Like the fact that the asteroid is actually changing the direction it's pointing, like as if that's realistic. I'll come back and change that later, but for now, let's do point in direction. And we'll give it like a plus or minus or something of its current direction. Where is its current direction? Here it is. It's in the blue section. Okay, so direction. I can't do math right there. Let's see, operators here. Okay, direction. No. Okay. What is happening? Minus, and then I need to pick random. So I'm going to do direction. Can actually do direction plus, right? Direction plus pick random between, can I do negative numbers? That would be great if I could. Negative 10 to 10. And so what it would do is either add or subtract somewhere between, like, I mean, it's always going to add, but it's doing between negative 10 and 10. And so it should just adjust the angle that it's pointing, I'm thinking. Okay. 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 I think we're gonna have to implement the special bounce logic now. What I'd really like is to be able to just use, like they have an if, like if edge or if touching edge or something bounce, but I actually just want the bounce. I want to have my own detection for if it's touching edge, because right now I'm just constantly basically constantly checking to see if it's on the edge and then bouncing, but I don't have like this if on edge bounce. I can't do another thing in addition to bounce. And in this case, what it would be is changing the direction slightly that it decides to do for the bounce. But instead what I did is it's like just constantly changing its direction, and that's not what I meant to do. So we don't want this here. We need it inside of an if statement that only happens periodically. So I guess I'm just going to have to hold on to a variable of, like, let's see if it bounces off of like the top, its direction changes. So I could hold on to previous direction for this sprite, and I can set each time, like if on edge bounce, or I could do it before. So set previous direction to, and then I get my direction. If on edge bounce, and then after this, I can do an if. And I need to see if the direction has changed. So operator, I think if not, direction equals previous direction. So in other words, if our direction has not, wait, no. Yeah, if our direction has changed, so if our previous direction is not the same as our current direction, then we can slightly change it. Okay. And then once we come back around, we'll set the direction. Here we'll check to see if direction equals previous direction, which it should if we haven't hit the edge. So let's try this. And what we should be seeing from this is just like let's make it much more obvious. Do like -40 to +40, and we should see it like wildly change direction. Okay, let's change the speed of the asteroid. It'll make it a lot easier for me to tell. Okay, so it's moving at this angle. Of course, it's going to hit the edge, so that's going to make it hard to tell what's going on. Okay, there. I think that was proving it. Player direction. Okay, I think right there maybe it's showing us like player direction. Okay, I see. This player direction is just not being updated because okay, I need to. That is confusing me. So let's remove this. I don't want to see current costume. Okay. Okay, there we go. So this is the actual player direction. I had my other variable shown. Okay, so this is the player direction 69. Wait, that's not changing. Oh, player direction. That's not what I wanted. I want asteroid direction. Okay. So now we can see, I think, if these two values are ever different. Maybe I can put like a weight. Okay, I want to be able to see what's going on. Let's just see. Let's call this temp for this sprite only. We're going to show temp, and then the value is going to, actually, I'm just going to duplicate this and put it in here. So that's not what I wanted, actually. This one. Duplicate. So whatever direction we're changing it by. Here. So whenever we change the direction, I'm just going to set the variable called temp to be the same thing that we changed the direction by, maybe? Let's see. I think we actually just want the random number because we already have the value of direction. Okay, let's do this. So direction is 135. Okay, temp got set to 36. 22. Okay, so we can see that it's only happening when we hit the edge. And this isn't happening constantly. So, and it appears to see, is it having an effect? Okay, one way we can see this, I think, is if the value that comes out of this, so we're going -135, it changes to -6, and then if I run it again, I'm not sure if the bounce is like deterministic or not, though. But this does appear to have the randomness built into it, so that seems good. I'm going to change this to just a randomness of like -20 to 20, so it's not like crazy different directions, and get rid of our variable that was just temporary. And now let's just make sure this looks correct. We can fly circles. Or, oh, we would have died. We would have died there. Okay. Oh, we need to implement the ability to go like through the screen here, like go on this side and appear on the other side. I think asteroids could do that, right? I don't remember what happens over here. What happens if I go out the side of the screen? Oh, I just get lost. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I guess we don't have to worry about that for now. All right, now we have one asteroid that actually looks pretty good. We want to make more, so we're going to need to duplicate the asteroid. Let's see here. What triggers more asteroids? Is it just periodically? We'll go with like every 5 seconds or something. Let's see, I think we want it to be in the player area, sort of like our main area. When this is clicked, then we'll have a wait for 5 seconds. I'm probably going to insert stuff above that wait. Create a clone. Wait, yeah, we did the clone stuff for shot. That's separately. So asteroid, and let's try that. Now this would be a little weird because it's gonna. Uh-oh. Right. Let me go over to asteroid. We need to handle this differently. When I start as a clone, we do all these things, and this doesn't actually happen. No. Events. When this is clicked, looks set to hide. Just like I did with the shot. Yeah. I guess I could put that in the same spot. And now let's try it. That did not do what I wanted it to. Let's go to this. Oh, I don't have anything showing, so let's do this. Okay, this is looking pretty good, I think. Why is it not doing more? It's just like I'm incapable of remembering to implement loops when I need it. Wait 5 seconds, and then, okay, so let's try this. Might need to not have it go straight at the player. That's rather confusing. Oh, you know what? I kind of like it going at the player. That's pretty hilarious. I'm 100% leaving it like that. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. All right, we need to have some detection for when the player gets hit. So on the player, actually, I don't know. Will this be in the asteroid or the player? I think I could put it in the main loop. Forever, if this is pressed, whatever. And then there's also probably an when. Oh, there's not. I was thinking there was like a when this thing touches that thing, but that's in sensing. Okay, so I just need like an if the player is touching. So I wonder if this just works for any asteroid. Like if it's just touching any asteroid, then we need to like display a message. Oh, we should do a sound. Play sound. Space ripple. What is this laser? It's like a laser noise. I probably won't put that into the recording. Oh well. Maybe. Oh goodness. Wait, can I unmute it for a second? Okay, I'm not recording my desktop noises, so you can't hear sounds, so let's just avoid that. Oh, you know what? I could just have like a game over sprite. Game over is no game over. Game over. How do I change the size of this? Size 400. What? What? Why would it get smaller? I'm confused. Oh, there it goes. Why is it off to the side? Hey, there we go. That's what I wanted. There's probably a lot better way to do this. Okay. So when we touch an asteroid, we say, no. We just need to make that sprite show. So I actually just need to go like delete. In the sprite over here, we want an event when this is clicked forever. Looks, how do I say, no. Show. And I want this to hide when I click start, but then forever it will check to see if the game has ended, and the game ends if oh, okay. I might need like a broadcast or a variable. At this point, I'm not really sure what the difference is between broadcast and variable, because it seems like you can like do the same thing between them too. Game continue global, and then we'll just check to see whether or not game continue is set to true. So I guess game continue equals 1. Oh, and then we show this, and then we stop all other scripts or something. I'm not sure what that's going to do, but we'll see. Then in player, this is forever checking if game continue is 1, so that should actually be if it's 0, then show and stop all. This is going to be what I had before, actually. If the player is touching asteroid, set game continue to 0. And then when we start off at the beginning, set game continue to 1. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, that it might run too fast. because this needs to set game continue to 1. So really, I could just avoid the possibility by setting it over here. Game continue to 1. And it's not going to stop us from playing, but if we run into it, oh, it does. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. The only thing I need to do now, I think, is blow up the asteroids. So game over. All right, so we do need to check for an interaction between shot and asteroid. Shot will need to, actually both of them need to check it, so I'll go ahead and add, let's see here, this is repeat until touching the edge. Oh, actually I can update this. So control, instead of just 1, maybe this is in operators. This or this, so I can pull this out, put this in, so until we're touching the edge, or we're touching asteroid. In either case, we'll delete the clone of whatever that thing is, the shot, I mean, then the asteroid will actually work the same. So it has a forever loop, and it is moving. It can just have a check. Wait, how fast does that move? That's actually a fine speed. I probably want to randomize the speed too, now that I think about it. But we need to have a check for if... Oh, you know what? Delete. This is a clone. So instead of forever, repeat until... Yeah, I think I said earlier that I don't know how to do a while loop, but I guess this is at least a... This is a... repeat until... I'm not sure if this is a while loop or a do while loop. But anyway, it's one of those. So... I just noticed something. There's a wait until. I need to remember that. That might be useful. Okay, so instead of forever, we want to repeat until touching. This is an asteroid, so it needs to repeat until. Actually, this might be another or, because the asteroid should the asteroid blow up if it touches a ship? I'm going to say no, so maybe I don't need an or. Just if it's touching the shot. Okay. Okay, I'm struggling here. Oh, whoops. Okay. I don't know exactly what I just did. Repeat until touching the shot. So I needed to delete the clone. And that should do it. Okay, the shot should have registered though. I don't know why that's not. Repeat until touching edge or touching asteroid. Let me try that a few more times, just see if it always behaves this way. Yeah, it seems like it always behaves that way. That's interesting. I'm not sure how to solve that problem. Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. It seems like sometimes, it's only going to be one or the other that detects it. This person suggests that what you can do is put a small wait before actually doing the deletion so that there's a small amount of time to allow both sprites to detect each other. So I'm going to try that. So on both of them, whenever we go to delete the clone, let's just do a wait. Control. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's go 0.05. And in the asteroid, 0.05. Let's see if that helps. I need to make the asteroids appear more often. Let's see here. Let's make them appear every 1 second. That seems to solve it. Cool. It's like he said, it's not like the most elegant solution, but it does look like it's reliable. Okay. 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 I feel targeted. Oh, okay. This looks like everything kind of works. There are two things that come to my mind that I don't like. I need to have this more randomized for where these asteroids come out. The other thing is that if I'm in this spot when an asteroid spawns, like, I'm going to die immediately. And what I think I would rather it do is like spawn in from outside the screen and move inward. But I would need to build my own logic to handle that. When we start as a clone, instead of jumping inside the screen, we go outside the screen, and we could still go towards the player, but given that it's outside the screen, we'll have more time to get away. It also spawns outside the screen, so we'll never actually get killed instantly upon it spawning in. And what we do to get around the issue of if on edge bounce happening right when it touches, because it's going to be outside the screen, so as soon as it tries to come in, I think it would touch the edge and start bouncing. So you know what? Let me just test that. Where is my asteroid? Here it is. Let me just make that visible. And I want to see 200, 200. Okay, so that is almost outside the screen. So let's go like, wait, what? Why is it 193? Oh, maybe you can't put it outside the screen. Because I'm not sure how to handle that. That's tough. Okay, well I guess we'll go with this for now. So we have it, let's say we have it spawn from 200, 193. That's really weird, but what happens? Okay. Okay, so let's say if I did negative 200 and negative 200, does that put them just down here? Okay, so it seems like it's just a 400 by 400. This doesn't quite look like a square though, so it's close enough though, right? Yeah. It looks like the width might be more like 220 or 240 or something like that, but this will be close enough. So I need to be able to come up with random numbers that are between certain numbers. So like it needs to always be touching the edge, pretty much. So that means that one of the numbers at all times pretty much just needs to be 200. It could be like 200 or negative 200 for X, 200 or negative 200 for Y. But then the other number can be whatever. So like if it was Y was negative 200, X could be 50, and that would come out of a random place. Okay. So, oh, but that's still spawning, like still practically spawning in right here. I don't like that too much. So maybe we do put in like a move in toward the player. So point toward the player, move. See, maybe we repeat until not touching the edge. Oh, I didn't know I could just move this around. Okay, so if I put it here. Ah, okay. So Y negative like 160 or 170. Okay, so it's not 200, it's not actually 400 tall. It's more like 350 or something like that. Or 300. Math's hard, okay? So okay, so here's my thought that we can try. When the asteroid gets spawned in, we actually just send it initially to a random location. I don't know if that can possibly make I don't know if that can make this thing get blown up by an invisible asteroid. I think maybe not. So if I put this here and it's not when I click this, it's not showing. Let me change this back to 5 seconds. And start this, destroy that one. Okay, so if I fly in this area, it only like acts as a thing that can destroy me when it is visible. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we can basically have it invisible first, go to a random location, random position. Then we could move it randomly to the edge of the screen in some direction. Let's do an if. I don't want it to go there though. Why? Why would it? Guess I have to pull it apart. If, and we'll pick a random number. Wait, can I not do that? We'll do a random number between like 1 and 100. And if that equals, I guess we do like if it's greater than. So if the random number we choose is greater than 50, which then need to be 49, am I putting a preference? Let's see, 51 to 100, 1 to 50. So we have the same chance of getting above 50 as we do getting below 50. If it's above 50, then we will change, like, let's say the X axis. If it's, or I guess if it's below, let's see. Yeah, if it's true, we'll change X. If it's false, we'll change Y. So that means I actually needed to have an if, then else. No, I want this to come with it. Oh my gosh. Delete. Okay. If, whichever one it is, so I guess I could have just done like, this will make it more clear, huh? Delete. Pick between 1 and 2. And if it equals 1, then we'll change X. If it's Y, we'll change, or if it's 1, we'll change X. If it's 2, we'll change Y. So let's set, how will we decide whether to do positive or negative though? Guess we could just do another, like another if then else. This is going to be awful. Duplicate. No. 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 What is happening? What? What is going on? What? No, no, no. Delete the whole thing. What? I don't understand what's happening. Oh, wow. Oh, what is this? Okay. So, I had to fix a little bit of an issue there because I accidentally duplicated some stuff. So if for some reason you're following along and trying to do the same thing, just make sure you move this. Make sure you don't have any extra stuff behind there. Okay, so when I start as a clone, go to random position. If, and I'm going to pick a random number between 1 and 2, and that will represent whether I'm going to change X or Y. If I'm going to change X, then I'm going to do another if. So duplicate, put that inside here. duplicate, put that inside here. What? Then okay, right. I can do set X, set X, set Y, set Y. I'm also thinking I just don't want this to all be together. So we'll move this out of the way. Create a block. Let's call this like prep asteroid. And then we can move that off to the side here. And then we'll put this here. Okay, so now it's maybe a little easier to read. Actually don't want go to random position. I want this to be here as well. So when it starts to clone, we prep the asteroid, and the idea is that we get it to be created, go to its initial location, come onto the screen, and then once it's on the screen, we'll do its main loop set of steps. And that way we can kind of work on these separately. So go to a random location. We're going to pick a random number, 1 or 2. If it's 1, then we are going to change the X value. And the way we decide whether to do it as positive or negative is to do another random number. And if it's 1, then we do positive. So we'll set X to like positive 250 or something. And otherwise we'll do negative 250. If before we got like a 2, then we'll come down and we'll do another picking of a random number. We'll do positive Y. I think I might be doing the numbers too high there, but it looks like it just throws the asteroid back into play at the closest position, so maybe that'll be fine. Might have to change it, I'm not sure. 200, negative 200. And don't know. Okay, we're going to point toward the player and move. We need to do a loop. And here I'm thinking what we'll do is like, I think we need a loop until its coordinates are like far enough into play that we can let the rest of it take over. Now, I can see scenarios where this might not work out, but I'm thinking most of the time it will. So let's just see how it works out. But I need a loop down here instead of move 2 steps. You know, I might just need this. And then it would be repeat until, but the repeat until would be different. Don't want to duplicate all of the logic. And we're not going to have the bouncing. Don't need this. Don't need this. Oh, so we actually just need a little bit out of that. I don't know what I'm going to repeat until yet. Don't need to delete. Don't need this. Or this. Or this. Or this. I think I do need that after. Okay. Repeat until touching shot seems valid, but I think we also want it to be like, oh, actually show needs to be here. Repeat until touching shot, or you're like all the way on all the way into the playing field. So I think it's going to be until like X and Y are, it'd be nice if there was just something that said like a sensing operation or action or whatever that lets you determine whether the sprite is fully visible on the screen. Let's see what happens when this. Whoop. Okay. Okay, so it is doing what I want it to. It's like slowly, creepily going past the line. Let me just test this. I don't know if it's going to work, but I want to repeat until it's not touching the edge. So not touching the edge. Oh. Then it bounces, right? Yeah. Okay, this actually is not bad. It is straight up like targeting me now though. So we need a little bit of randomization on this. And then I think I could just copy this. And the idea I'm thinking is we give it a little bit of randomness involved here as well. So we point toward the player, but then we change our direction based upon our own direction and randomize it a little bit. So it's not like always going to directly hit me. Okay, it did here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's an example. We pointed at ourselves, and then we made it like go off a little bit. So that's good. Oh, whoops. It looks like it's a little bit tight as far as like the timing and stuff, or the movement, because everything's the proportions, I guess, for the size of everything. It seems like it works okay. Obviously, our asteroids don't show up fast enough. So let's go with like every 2 seconds. I don't know if we want to do like a maximum number of asteroids or not. But right now, this is pretty easy. And I think part of the reason for that is that we're not having it split into smaller ones. So let's see. We need a little bit more logic for splitting asteroids into smaller ones. So I could choose to make different sprites for the different sizes of asteroids. But I think it might make more sense to just, like, I think I can change the size of them. Let's see. Yeah, we can set the size. Oh, and it's actually like a percentage. Oh, I can change size by 10, 20. So if I maybe set the size of an asteroid when it's created, or like when this is clicked, okay, this is clicked, then I set it to 50. That way, if we ever wanted to change the values, somebody can't accidentally mess it up by just going in here and changing it. They actually need to change it in the code. So change, I could have some variables that work on this though. Like, would I make it all sprites? I think I'll just do this sprite. And make it all caps to make it like a constant. Asteroid start size. Oh, yeah, and then I need to set that to, let's say 50. And I'm thinking we need another one for asteroid reduce size. The sprite only. Set that one to 10. Nah, maybe 15. So we want like a large size, then something that would be the size, what, a 35, and then one that would be size of 20. And then we should be able to calculate when we're dealing with a given asteroid, like what it's based on its size. Wait, can I get its size? Okay, I'm realizing this is going to be a little difficult because there's not, at least as far as I know, there's not like a concept of input parameters on anything. So even like blocks. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh. Okay. Hold on. Delete. Edit. Okay. Add input number. Okay. So I think I want to input the size, maybe? That makes sense to me. Whoopsie. Make a block. Size. Oh, wait. Do I just name it? Oh. Hold up. Add an input number or text. Prep asteroid. Size. Do I just... Okay, no, I did this wrong. So I need to... Wait, can I not... Edit? Hello? What is happening? I think I broke something. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So we're back to how we were. So I actually want to, when I spawn a new asteroid, create a clone of asteroid, I think when it gets created from here, we need to pass in, I don't know if I can make the block. I guess you probably can't make the block global. So I'm having a hard time with this. I want like this sort of like a function over here. I want it to have an input of something like the size of the asteroid, so that I can define how big the asteroid should be, so that I can replicate the idea of having the large asteroids and the medium asteroids and then the small asteroids. But there's a bit of a disconnect here because I could give it an input, but that's only callable from inside this like script area, so only in the asteroid. It doesn't, as far as I can tell anyways, I can't make it be called from another area. You know what I could do, now that I think about it? I could actually have like do the broadcast thing, or this could just set like a global variable that says to create an asteroid. I think I like that actually. So instead of this directly creating an asteroid, it will actually just sort of request an asteroid to be created. So let's do like asteroid request. Oops. I keep putting underscores because of Python. I'm just going to go with it. Asteroid request. Okay, and if the asteroid request has a 1 in it, then we'll create an asteroid and then we'll set it back to 0. So let's do variable set asteroid request to 1. Okay, and then it'll wait 2 seconds before doing it again. Over on the asteroid side, we'll actually have something running all the time. Do we have that now? We kind of do here. It's just going to be checking for like if that variable is set to 1. If asteroid request is set to 1, then we will clone the asteroid. So create a clone. Where are we? Create a clone of myself. That's fine. Now, okay, now I don't like that though. When clicked, because hopefully this doesn't affect the clone's behavior. I feel like it doesn't. I feel like this is non-clone behavior. So we'll have to see though. But this way it's going to check to see if an asteroid request happens. Then we create it. If it does, I forgot to set asteroid request to 0 after it's done. And that way I can keep handling those requests. The reason this will help is that now I can go to the blocks in here and I can edit this so that it has an input of size. And maybe I'll change how this works later. I don't know. But right now, size makes sense. And then when I call prep asteroid, create a clone of myself. All right. I have a new idea. I don't know if this work that I did over here was necessary, where I'm monitoring the asteroid request and then creating it if it was necessary, kind of like a factory or something, but I don't think that's necessary. I think I could have just left it like it was before. But now that I've changed it, I'm going to just keep it like this. I kind of like the idea of that's kind of like it's making a function call to the asteroid class to create an object of it. And so I'm just going to leave it. Don't know if I'm going to use these variables up here. I think I won't actually use these variables up here, so we might come back and delete them. But after thinking through this a little bit, it seems like it might just be easier to have different sprites. And a big reason for that is that a large sprite is always created from here, right? We don't ever create anything but that kind of sprite. Then I could actually, inside of this, right? Like as this, when I start as a clone in this logic, I can create a small, medium sprite, like a medium asteroid. I keep saying sprite. I can create a medium asteroid. And then inside the medium asteroid sprite, I can have code and it only creates small asteroids. I think that makes sense. Now, that unfortunately means if I do it that way, anyways, I think that I will be limited on like being able to reuse this logic. Because up to this point, I was thinking about reusing all this logic. And the only difference would be that it's a different size asteroid. Yeah, God, it really seems like I need to have it just change the size, because that's all I need. And then at the end, when it goes to like, delete itself, before it deletes itself, it checks like, or even after, checks to see like, hey, or maybe it'd be before it deletes itself. But anyway, at some point down here, it would check to see, should I create more asteroids? Well, let me see what my own size is. If I am a size of 50, then I should create 2 medium size asteroids. If I'm a size of the medium, so it'd be like 35, then I should create 2 small asteroids. If I am the size of a small asteroid, which would be like 20, then I shouldn't, I should just delete myself and I don't do anything else. But the issue I'm having is, how will it know what its size is? I see that you can change the size, but how would you know what your own size is? I guess you could assume that you're a size of, whatever, and then you can change it. But like when you get cloned, or when I start as a clone, I can't fathom how it's going to know whether it's size 50, 35, or 20, or whether it should be one of those things. All right. I don't want to hear any back talk from anybody. I just found, I thought I looked for this. There's a variable that holds the size of the sprite. That's exactly what I needed. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay. Woo boy. So oh boy. I don't really know exactly how I'm going to use this though, but like, let's see. If you create a clone of yourself, what I wonder is, does that carry the size over? I think we can test it out though pretty easily, maybe. Is that we just need to change, so I think prep asteroid, where's my block? Can I remove this? There needs to be a way to remove. Wait. Oh my gosh. There it is. Okay. So what is it? We got like the size somewhere. Yeah, so I need to change the size of this asteroid. So change the size of the asteroid when I shoot it. And then let's go -15. So actually I should be using the variable. Where are we? Here. Change size by asteroid, reduce size. And then when I clone it by doing create a clone of myself, does that create one that is a size of 50, or is it going to be 35? If it's 35, I think we are good to go. I have no idea what this is going to do though. I'm a little afraid. Huh? Wait. I'm not sure what just happened. Hold on. Okay, so we got that size. Wait, did it get larger? Wait a minute. Change size by reduce size. Oh. Oh man, I just struggle sometimes. So the reduced size, I think, I guess I could just put this at -15 here and that would solve the problem. It was making them larger. Okay. That looks good. Now, what I need to do is just test, like, what happens if that's not what I was trying to do. What? Okay, let's create a clone of myself twice whenever I shoot the big asteroids. Now I don't like that I can see it changing size before. So I think I need to actually implement hiding. So when we, instead of deleting the clone, we actually hide it. And then we change the size. Hide it, change the size, create a clone of myself twice, and then delete the current clone. So this should create two. Okay, but that's the other thing, is that the new asteroid is they're gonna come from the sides rather than out of the current asteroid. Given that when I go to create a clone, and it's basically gonna run, I create the clone, it's gonna go not actually sure where it goes. Goes to a random position. And then it's going to move on. What I might need to do is like have it. Maybe I don't prep the asteroid. I'm thinking that I just like I need to set some variables that then like I guess oh boy. I guess it'd be global variables, and as long as this thing runs fast enough, it should be fine. When an asteroid gets destroyed, it will set some global variables. And those will be used like this oh, let's see, that makes it a little pointless. Change size, clone of myself. When I start as a clone, I might need a way to like identify that it doesn't need to be prepped. So maybe I could identify that it's like it is inside of the play area. Okay, I need another variable. Asteroid start Y. Or I could just do position. Let's do start Y for all sprites. Or I guess it could be just this sprite, but I'm gonna leave it for all sprites for now. So I want to set that. Delete the asteroid size variable. Asteroid start Y. I want it to be the very first thing that gets set. And we're going to set it to something like that's outside of the play area. I don't know if it will stay that way though. So let's do like 250, which should be way outside of it. Stop. But see, the Y is only at 131 here. So even though I did this, let's take the hide out real quick. Asteroid start Y. I didn't actually use that. I'm dumb. Set Y to asteroid start Y. Okay. And then, so it actually goes to 197. Let's try this asteroid start Y. Asteroid start X. Like, what is it doing? I don't understand what in the world is happening? Oh my goodness. When I try to duplicate, things just do not go according to plan. Oh man. And I guess we can just hide immediately. I don't know why not. And then we'll set the X to whatever this is, 195, 195, 225. All right. What I'm afraid of is that this is like different devices are going to make this not work properly, but you know, this is just a learning experience, so it's fine. I'm thinking that what I'll do is have this be the base like location of our original asteroid. And hopefully, I mean, I guess when you clone the asteroid, I would think that they would go to the same place. So I can check to see, is the current location of the asteroid that we just spawned in the original location or not? And when we create a clone of ourselves, when it's from a clone, I'm hoping that it creates it in the same location as the one that's being cloned from, so that it won't be in this original location anymore. And so I can check to see that when we do, I don't know, like prep asteroid or something. So I can know whether or not to like bypass this changing of a random location, because we don't need to do any of this if we are one of those like medium or small asteroids, because they're already in the playing field, and so they can just start moving around. And they really need to continue from and like in the direction that their parent asteroid was going, but maybe offset by 35 degrees or something like that. One of the things I think I might need to do then is, I might have to duplicate some of this logic and copy it over. I'm not sure. But if I put an if statement up here, see, like, what what does it do? Can I not just put that in the middle here? Like, why does it have to go around everything? I mean, I get that's cool that I have the option, but I don't want to do that. All right. So the only time I want to prep the asteroid is if the one that we just spawned in has the same values as this. So like operators, if I need two things, if this and this are correct, variables. So if 2 equals, I think if, oh, I don't have the current, I'll have the current position. X, okay, yeah, we're good. So X position and Y position should be equal to start Y I mean, start X and start Y. This is getting a little bit cluttered. Here I was trying to not make that happen. That'll be all right though. So so start to clone, if the position is the same as the original, then I think that means we want to do prep asteroid. If it's not the same as the original, then, oh, I probably needed an if else. Oops. Dude. This, and we get rid of this guy. So we do that prep asteroid logic. And then otherwise, what do we need to do to get this thing going? We basically just need to set previous direction. Does it have a direction? I don't think it does because it won't be point in direction, previous direction. I think it just needs to somehow, it'd be nice if we could point it in its parent's direction, but for this part, I don't know if we'll be able to without setting some kind of variable beforehand. It'd have to be like a global variable. I could just have it go in a random direction. I think that's fair. And that would be like not a big deal. So point in direction. And here's where we'll just do a random between 0 and I guess 360. So we shoot the asteroid and it can just spawn two that go in any direction. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, I'm sure that I've missed something, but like this is so complicated now that I'm a little confused. So let's just run it, see what happens. Huh, nothing. Sick. All right, I obviously did something wrong. So when we click this, we hide the base asteroid, which makes sense. We set these. Oh, did we ever actually set? Oh, what is this? This doesn't look right. Wait, can I not change this? What is happening? What? What is happening? Set Y to. Oh, I just can't click on that. I see. I'm not sure why I have two set Ys. Wait, why am I doing this twice? I must have messed up something earlier. Okay. So, does it work now? Okay. That didn't work? Okay. Question is it still spawning extra ones? It kind of feels like it is. But if I shoot this one at a time, like, okay, I don't think it's working. So I've missed something that involves spawning new asteroids. I'm thinking I can make the logic here a lot less complicated too. If asteroid request, I don't need to do that stuff. I think I can just delete these, go back over here, and make this be just create a clone of asteroid. Oh. Okay, I think we just learned what's going on there, though. Potentially. Potentially, we might have learned that when you create a clone, it doesn't... Wait, no, because we already tested that. We tested that it keeps the same size as whatever you left it at last. So then what's the problem? This seems to be working. Right? Like, it is running the prep asteroid logic. Because it's spawning these. No, because these aren't. No, those are clones. Yeah, those are clones. So it's definitely running this logic. But then when it goes into here, and I think it is doing this logic too, because it's bouncing, right? Dude, was it bouncing? It was bouncing, right? I need one of them to touch the edge. Okay, yes. Okay, that was weird that it moved like that, but that's fine. Hide. So once it gets shot, it's hiding it, changing its own size to asteroid, changing it by reduced size, which is set to -15. Then it's supposed to create a clone of itself, which is obviously not creating it in its own place. Maybe. Let's see if there's something going on there. Like, if I do this, okay, so it is working to create a clone of itself. But when the new ones start as a clone, this has show, but this doesn't have show in it, so I need to add that. Show. Okay, let's try it now. Oh, that's pretty sick. Oh! Wait, is it gonna keep going? No, don't kill me, don't kill me. Ah, there's like little tiny ones, no! Oh no! Okay, it's working though. We just need to, like, there needs to be logic here to avoid creating more clones if it's below a certain size. So I think, let's see, what were our variables? Asteroid reduce size. I think maybe I'm just gonna make this simple on myself instead of doing math. Asteroid minimum size, minimum size for all sprites. That's fine. And then we need to set that over here. Duplicate asteroid minimum size, and we'll just set it to like 20. Then down here, we will only create clones of ourself if I think our size. So I need operator if our size is greater than the minimum. Size greater than the minimum. So now if I shoot this, then I shoot it again. Uh-oh. If size greater than the minimum size, create a clone of myself. So asteroid start size is 50. We reduce by 15. We go to 35. So I would think that, like, when I run like this, I would think the size there started at 50. And then, oh gosh. So I would think this is 50 and then 35. And when I'm shooting there, now the 35 is disappearing. Why is that? Size. If the size is greater than asteroid minimum size. So if 35 is greater than 20, then create a clone of myself. So somehow, I feel like that must mean that one of these two values is incorrect when it gets to that point, which I don't really see how. Because the only time that I change the size should be right here. And the only way we get here is by creating a clone. Gets down to that point, changes its size. Then you create another clone, which would get you to the lower size. The only thing I can think is if where I think that these are actually size 50 asteroids, that it's actually not. So let's change this over to, let's see, I've got that set, so it shouldn't matter if I move this around. Wait, can I just go 0, 0? Okay, so this is the size. That looks like the same size, right? There should be a smaller size coming out. Do a little bit of cleanup here. Let's delete that. Asteroid request. Don't know what my variable is. I think that maybe that's just a default one created. I'm going to turn on the size. I don't know how this is going to work when there's clones. Like, will it create extra lines for the clones? No, of course not. That would be too easy. Huh. Let's try this. Let's just go like, if the size is greater than 10. I don't think this is going to make a difference, but... Oh, okay, that worked. All right. What? Like, am I just doing something dumb? Oh, well, now it's not working here either. Oh, it's something to do with the size. Like, so if I set this to 10, or even 19, I bet it'll work. How did I not notice that before? What's wrong with me? I guess it'll work now. What? Wait, now we can't destroy it at all. Okay, I see. So that was that whole, like, timing issue. That's fine. We don't need it to be perfect. Alright, so it's a little janky. I'm gonna die. It's a little janky, but it works. You know? We can be proud of it. Man, I do not like that. I need to change the bouncing physics. That's pretty cool, though. You know? It's pretty fun. Okay, alright. I think... Is there something else that we need to do? Like, we need to create a backdrop or something? How do we set that? I have no idea how to set a backdrop. Backdrops. What is this? Backdrop. Oh, okay. Choose a backdrop. Space. Oh. Yes! Oh, it's the best! Oh, I'm so good. I'm definitely going to be able to go work at Blizzard now. Oh man, I can't wait to work there for 7 years and then brag about it to everybody on the internet. Oh, so good. It's going to be so good. All right. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. I'm probably never going to play this game again, but if for some reason somebody is interested in seeing me make improvements to the game, let me know and then describe exactly what kind of features you'd like to see. And then I can try to implement those. Ones with complicated physics or something, I'm not sure if I can do, but I'm definitely willing to hear the suggestions and certainly advice if there was something I could have done better or easier ways to handle certain things. And you probably already saw throughout the video that I struggled to figure out certain pieces because I just couldn't. I didn't know there was a certain variable like size or whatever already just built in, and it would have taken me a lot less time to figure some things out. But anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.